periods of time where you was like, man, fuck this shit?
Oh, of course. Of course. I gave up one time in barber school. I remember I was in barber school, and mind you, you got to pay out of pocket or financial aid. I did have financial aid, but only paid like half of the course. So I had to come out of the other half out of my pocket. So I gave up like one time in barber school. So I stopped going for like 3-4 weeks or something like that. So when you start going there, reach out to you like, hey, you finna get kicked out. So I was like, oh, I gotta go back, I gotta finish. So I ended up going back, I finished, I did my hours, and at the time I was going, it was 1,500 hours. You had to clock 1,500 hours, to get certified, and then go take the board or whatever. So I finished or whatever, but I was still hustling. So I go to barber school, do 4-5 hours of barber school, and go to the shop. I wasn't worried about not having being licensed at the time. So I go cut, do my time in barber school, and go get to the money. So, but it still was a struggle because the clientele wasn't there for me. Being new and new to it, ain't nobody finna sit in your chair, especially if you don't know how to cut 100%.
So let's be real. What was that first haircut? That first client, whether it was when you was a student,
I huddled him out, and until that first cut was my nephew, and he'll tell you to this day I messed him up. But I respect him. He still comes to me to this day. He's a very, 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 very loyal client. He never went anywhere, even when I was messing him up. Even when I was huddling him out, he was going around. You gotta rock it until they grow back. So. But yeah, he was my first crash dummy. My nephew. Shout out to him.
And you know what's so funny? The reason why I asked that is because I think sometimes we get into our head, it's like, oh man, I'm about to do this shit, I'm about to be great at it.
Yeah.
You get that first client, it's like, ooh, my bad shit.
Yeah, and I did that.
So, where was that motivation to be like,